Once the excitement of Christmas has faded and the new year has come and gone, it doesn't feel like there's much to anticipate until spring. Luckily, there's the largest winter festival in Western Canada, Festival du Voyageur. Celebrate Voyageur, Métis, and First Nations histories February 18th to 27th here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. To tell us more, we have Chantal from Festival.
Yeah, so I'm Chantal Villefort in French, and I'm the Director of Marketing, Communications, and Sales at Festival du Voyageur.
Most people will know at this point, but what exactly is Festival du Voyageur?
So Festival du Voyageur is just a staple in the Manitoba community here. It is actually the largest French event in Western Canada. It also doubles as the largest winter festival in Western Canada, which is really great. It's a winter festival that consists of a lot of traditional elements to it. It began this will be our 53rd edition of Festival this year in 2022. And consists of, traditional music, French Canadian meals, and traditional cultures, and horse sleigh rides, and dog rides, and our very famous snow sculptures as well. We have a snow sculpture symposium, usually an international one, so that's always a great thing. And we have historical interpretation at the Fort Gibraltar as well. So it's really the park around Whittier Park around Fort Gibraltar that gets transformed into the Voyageur Park every year for this event.
Yeah, you mentioned 53 years. How many years has it been affected by COVID now? It feels like such a long time. Like time just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, you're right. And actually that's kind of funny, Ryan, because we always say, the last festival in 2020, and people correct us and they say, I think you mean 2019. And we say, no, we actually had a festival 3 weeks before the lockdown in 2020. So we were kind of that last big gathering here in Manitoba, and that last big celebration of, people coming together in an environment where you could be together in a tent and celebrate and dance. And so last year was really the first year that it got affected in 2021. Mm-hmm. And the restrictions were very, very strict at that time. So we pivoted to a virtual edition of festival. So we tried as much as possible to offer the feel and all of the traditional things that people love about Festival from home. So virtual concerts that were recorded. We did things like take-home meals of the traditional meals of the tourtière and tarte au sucre and soupe au pois competition, as well as the typical jig and violon contest, which everybody loves. We did a virtual edition, and as well as the beard growing. I see you have a beard there. So the beard growing contest as well was virtual and was more of just more of a fun thing last year.
The logo's always changing, and I saw like the new revealed logo for 2022. Really cool stuff. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so this is our third year working with local artist Jordan Stranger here, and he's an amazing artist, and we just love him. He works so well with Festival, and he did his first design for Festival in 2020, and it was so beautifully well received. Used so many different meanings and colors around it, and just did such a great job that we worked with him last year as well. And last year the logo was a bit more open logo, kind of showing the outdoorsy, more warmer kind of colors. Mm-hmm. And this year, we're kind of taking a chance. This was when we were designing this with Jordan, was more around August, September, when things are looking a little better. So we were very optimistic and kind of designed the logo with it being, more of a coming together and people coming together and listening to music together and just joining again under the tents and things like that. So, situation has changed, but that doesn't mean that feeling is not there. So that's still the feeling that we want people to have and to be positive and optimistic about is, finding your friends again and finding your family members and people you haven't seen maybe in 2 years pre-COVID, that people find themselves again at Voyageur Park, being able to enjoy the activities and programming that we put on.
When we're talking about, the history of French Canadians here in Manitoba, I mean, you can't not talk about the Métis people, directly involved in Canada or Manitoba's creation. So, what can you share about how, Métis and First Nations culture is intertwined within French Canadian culture that we celebrate at Festival.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's you can't have one without the other. It's part of its history, it's part of the fort's history and the Northwest Company and all of that. So, I am almost a product or exhibit of that generational evolution and all these things. So I know that within our festival, we've really done a lot of work to represent all of those different cultures coming together and seeing different ways we can represent that in our programming. And I know, for myself personally, so I'm Métis, I'm French Métis, and I didn't kind of start learning about what that meant to be Francophone Métis and French Métis in Manitoba till I was a little bit older and even into kind of my adult years. So my brother, actually, Miguel, he's the owner of Itchy Boy, who does all of the sashes and things like that for festivals. So once he started his company and really educating himself on our culture and our history, that really brought about my own learning and my own understanding of what it meant to be French Métis and how intertwined it really is in the community and everything that we do. And especially with Festival is such a great representation of all those cultures coming together. And we do such we keep learning, we keep building and fostering relationships with different elders and things like that. And if I can permit myself to elaborate, so Festival itself takes on more of a private approach with the staff as well, just with educating us and having private ceremonies with elders, just so we can better understand where we're coming from when we're putting these things in our programming. And it's really coming from a place of understanding rather than just, doing it because we feel like it's the right thing to do. We do it because we truly believe in that reconciliation, those relationships, and fostering that.
Multiculturalism is such an important part of modern Canada as a whole. And you can't have that without Indigenous and First Nation communities. So I'm really excited when I see initiatives that want to bring those cultures and voices of people to the forefront.
Some of the things that we try to incorporate in our programming, we obviously have the musical artists and the performances around that. So we have just a variety, always a variety. We're always thinking of that when we're, making sure to book certain acts and things like that. We've got some new stuff coming in this year, which is really exciting. We've got the Infinity Fire, which I've alluded to in some of the communication that we put out last week. That's something that's, was kind of thought out internally here. And it's something that we're building with some partners and some of our elders at Turtle Lodge and with the Union Métis Saint Joseph. So we're going to be introducing that. It's going to be really cool. It's a new fixture that's going to be part of the park, and we hope that it's just going to be there for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And the representation behind it will be really, really fun for everyone to see.
So what other components or facets of festival, what can people all expect this year?
So this year we kind of have what we call 4 pillars to the festival. So just to simplify a bit the messaging, we've got the Voyageur Park, which will be transformed a little different this year. We won't have the big tents like we typically do because of the restrictions. We will have a warm-up tent though, and we will have, a spot where people can buy souvenirs and things like that. We'll have food truck vendors where people can get some food. We'll have some traditional food as well. We'll have the interpretation outdoor in the fort. We'll also have the kids playground, the snow playground, which is always very popular. The horse sleigh rides, have some ice sculpting workshops. So there's going to be a lot that people are going to be able to do once they get into the park. The nice big thing in the park this year is that new La Boîte à Chansons, which we call it. It's our new mobile concert trailer. Mm-hmm. I've actually had the pleasure of going to see the construction of it this week, and they're putting it together. It looks awesome. I'm very excited about it. It's really great to present to the student community, and we'll be able to use it during the summer and things like that with partners. So it's a really great piece that we're adding to Festival this year. So that's the first. So there's Voyageur Park. And then we also have concerts in the evenings at CCFM. So Centre culturel franco-manitobain, that's on Provencher. We're going to have evening concerts there, as well as the jig and fiddle competitions there as well in person with a virtual category. So that would be the second pillar. And this year, if everything goes well, with the trailer, we're actually going to transport the trailer from the park to the Forks, and we're going to have some free concerts there for everybody to enjoy. So those will be during the evening week of Festival. So they'll be programming each day of the week this year. So the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evenings, and possibly Friday as well, at the Forks, close to the, I don't know exactly the spot, but it'll be there, and people can
when people go to the Forks, they'll be able to see.
They'll hear it. It's a big thing, and there'll be music coming out of it. They won't be able to miss it. So yeah, those will be really great. Probably from 6 to 8 type thing of programming. Yeah. And then we'll have the virtual component as well. So we're going to release some new pre-recorded concerts throughout the week, as well as people will be able to do the take-home meal kits again with the cocktails, which are being created right now too, which is great. So they'll be able to do and participate that way as well.
I've also seen some like video components posted on the social media. Is that just to like hype things up, to give previews of things, or is that like an independent project within all of Festival?
So we've re-released, so we do have some content from last year that's still up on our YouTube channel that people can enjoy. So past concerts and things like our Minute Mitchif. So we are developing a second series of Minute Mitchif. They were well received. So we're going to be, we've already filmed them, and they're almost ready to go to release them during the week of Festival. We've also got some different videos where people can do activities at home, like build their own snow sculptures in their backyards, things like that, make their own, taffy. So those are all online, and we're just kind of getting people excited. We can't sell tickets yet, so we're trying to get people hyped up. It's Festival season, and we want to get people excited about it. So we will be re-releasing some more content for 2022, but that 2021 stuff is still there, up for everybody to enjoy.
The snow sculptures, always exciting when you're going down. You see them, down the boulevard. Like it's so exciting. Well, so you said international. So there's people coming from all over the world to partake in this competition.
Typically, yes. So typically it's an international competition. So this year, obviously, we weren't able to move forward with the international competition. What we did was a Canadian one. So we've got some teams coming in. We've got a few teams coming in from some provinces and territories, and then we've got some local teams as well here. So that consists of 7 big different sculptures that are in the park that are part of the symposium. So 7 different teams working on those. But yes, you will have seen some of the big blocks all over the city. I think the one in front of the museum is started, almost done even. We've got some of the big blocks put on Provence, and they'll be starting to work on those sooner than later. So yeah, when you get those and the billboards going up, you kind of get that Festival feel, and it's great. Yeah.
This will be the second year that Festival has had to deal with COVID restrictions. What are some of the challenges when, planning an outdoor event like this?
What challenges? I don't know. Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think that by now everybody kind of knows the type of things that you have to adapt to and change and modify according to restrictions and things like that. I think, had you asked me that question, in December, end of November, we were more positive that we would be able to return to a full festival in person with the tents and everything. Some of the challenges, really have to do with adapting super quick, not losing, optimism that we can offer something, and really reminding ourselves that we're doing it because we love festival and the community loves festival, and it brings joy and it brings, smiles to faces. So we want to make sure that we continue having that festival joie de vivre that everybody always talks about and loves. So, with the virtual last year, didn't want to give up, wanted to make sure we could offer something. People were at home, they needed something to look forward to and make them smile, and to support artists as well. So that's been something we've had to adapt to this year with the new restrictions after Christmas. That a lot of the first thing we had to do was cancel our contracts with artists out of province, unfortunately. But it also gives us a great opportunity to really focus on supporting our local artists. So, to not give up on giving them their contracts and trying as hard as we can to offer as many contracts as we could, depending on the platforms that we had to offer them for the concerts. So yeah, some of the challenges, and then some with volunteers and things like that. So, it's a little more challenging to find, some people to help with building the park and volunteers for the park itself. We are still looking for volunteers if anybody's interested. And just adapting our programming. We didn't want to go full virtual this year if we were able to offer in-person events and in-person activities. So we wanted to make sure to try and do that as much as possible and offer a hybrid rather than just go virtual or just canceling. We really we're not giving up. We don't want to give up. And we hope that we can really bring something fun for everyone to be able to participate in.
It's exciting when you can have like people from across Canada coming here to celebrate, but that's right. There are so many amazing and talented people here in Manitoba. It's just insane.
And even in the French community as well, we know so many of them, and to support them and to give them that platform that Festival offers them is just fun, and we're very proud to be able to do that.
When does Festival officially kick off this year? And you mentioned something about tickets. When do those go live?
So Festival is officially February 18th to the 27th, so the Friday to the next Sunday, and it will vary on the activities. Like I said, some will be the concerts at the CCFM. Sometimes you'll be able to come into the park. All of our information is on our website right now. We released some information last week. We'll continue to update that as things change, so people can always refer to that. For ticket sales specifically, we're just waiting for those new restrictions to come in to see what we can offer in terms of how many people to have in the park safely, and make sure that we do that safely and with aligning with all of the public health restrictions as well. So that's kind of where we're at. But as soon as they are on sale, people will know about it. They can follow us. We have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and we have our website, heho.ca, that people can refer to as well.
What are you most excited about for this year's festival?
I'm excited to see people at the park. Honestly, and to hear the music, and really, I hope that people get wowed with the new concert trailer, La Boîte à Chansons. I think, like I said, I've seen it a little bit, and I'm just excited, and I haven't even seen the finished product. So to see everybody at the park and just enjoying themselves and seeing, the families come out and the music and the food and just that atmosphere, like I was saying, that joie de vivre, that atmosphere that Festival gives to people. To have that feeling again, it's kind of a very heartwarming feeling, and it makes everybody very happy. So I can't wait to get that feeling. It'll be great.
Enjoying the content from you, Multicultural? Why don't you subscribe to stay up to date with everything that we're doing? If you have any stories you want us to talk about or communities we should highlight, leave a comment down below or reach out to us over social media. I'm Ryan Funk. This was You Talk, and have yourself a good one.